Remember being told that swallowed gum stays in your stomach for 7 years? Or that cracking your knuckles would give you arthritis? Turns out, none of it was true. Today, we're unearthing the myths we grew up believing. And you won't believe which ones fooled everyone back then. Gum stays in your stomach for 7 years. This was the gold standard of childhood warnings. You'd pop a stick of juicy fruit or bubba, chew it happily, and then accidentally swallow it, and immediately panic. 7 years? Would it just sit there? Would it wrap around your insides? Thankfully, no. While gum isn't digestible, it doesn't stay in your stomach forever. It passes through your system just like other non-digestible materials, often within a few days. Your digestive tract is smarter than we gave it credit for. So why did this myth spread? Likely to keep kids from swallowing gum constantly, and maybe sticking it under desks. But it worked. One warning, and we were terrified of turning into human gumball machines. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis, the sound that drove parents crazy, crack, and the immediate scolding that followed. You'll ruin your joints, we were told. You'll get arthritis. But here's the truth. Multiple studies have shown that cracking your knuckles does not cause arthritis. The popping sound comes from gas bubbles collapsing in the synovial fluid around your joints. It's harmless, though possibly annoying to those around you. So why did this myth stick? Simple. Social conditioning. The sound was disruptive and adults wanted it to stop. What better way than to tie it to a scary future of painful hands? If you go outside with wet hair, you'll catch a cold. Few things brought out mom's disapproval faster than stepping outside with wet hair on a chilly day. You were practically asking for pneumonia, or so we were told. But the truth? Colds are caused by viruses, not by wet hair or cold air. Sure, being cold can stress your body slightly, but unless you're exposed to a virus, you won't catch one just because you skipped the blow dryer. So where did this myth come from? Likely from a time when homes weren't well insulated, and being cold could contribute to general health problems. Over time, it morphed into a blanket warning, dry your hair or else. Swimming right after eating will give you cramps. Summer afternoons, you'd finish a big sandwich, and just as you were about to cannonball back into the pool, wait 30 minutes, you'll get cramps. The dreaded food-related drowning myth haunted many a childhood swim party. But guess what? There's no solid evidence that swimming after eating is dangerous. While heavy meals might make you feel sluggish, they don't magically cause muscle cramps severe enough to pull you under. Your body is perfectly capable of handling digestion and swimming at the same time. So why did this myth spread? Likely to give parents a brief window of peace after lunch. 30 minutes to sip iced tea without shouting, "Stop running," every 5 seconds. If you're enjoying this trip, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I'd love to keep sharing these stories with you. Thanks. If you swallow a seed, a tree will grow in your stomach. This one terrified every kid who accidentally swallowed a watermelon seed. The image of vines creeping through your belly was enough to make you swear off fruit forever. Of course, it's impossible. Seeds need sunlight, soil, and the right environment to grow. Your stomach is none of those things. The acid alone would destroy most seeds long before they had a chance to sprout. But as a child, hearing this myth added an air of mystical danger to eating fruit. Suddenly, snack time had stakes. Every watermelon bite became an adventure. Don't swallow your chewing gum, it will wrap around your heart. This one went even beyond the 7-year stomach story. Some kids were told that if you swallowed gum, it would travel through your body and somehow wrap around your heart, causing certain doom. Terrifying? Yes. True? Not even close. As we've already learned, gum is mostly indigestible, but it simply passes through your system. The rapping, the heart-stopping drama, came straight from childhood imagination run wild. But didn't it make gum feel like danger candy? Suddenly, bubble blowing wasn't just fun. It was an act of bravery. You only use 10% of your brain. How many of us heard that growing up? That humans only use 10% of their brains, and the rest was some untapped reservoir of genius waiting to be unlocked. It sounded so thrilling. One day, we might suddenly discover hidden powers if we just tried hard enough. The idea popped up in movies, TV shows, and even school assemblies. But here's the reality. Modern neuroscience shows that we use essentially all parts of our brain. Though not all at the same time, of course. Different regions handle different functions, and throughout the day, your brain is very busy. Dropping a penny from the Empire State Building could kill someone. Picture this. You're standing at the top of the Empire State Building, clutching a penny. Someone tells you, "Don't drop it." It could kill someone on the sidewalk below. That visual stuck with us. A tiny coin falling at terminal velocity, turning into a deadly missile. But in reality, not so much. A penny's shape and weight mean it tumbles and flutters as it falls, never gaining the kind of speed required to be lethal. At worst, it might give someone a mild sting or a surprise. But not an ER visit. If you cross your eyes, they'll get stuck that way. Every kid has tried this at some point. Contorting their face, crossing their eyes, and then being warned sternly, "Stop it! They'll get stuck that way." Cue a moment of panic. Was it really true? Would you be trapped forever in a goofy-eyed state? Thankfully, no. Eye muscles are extremely flexible and designed to move in many directions. Crossing your eyes, even for extended periods, won't cause permanent damage or leave you stuck. But this was one of those myths designed to keep us from being obnoxious in public. Parents and teachers didn't want a room full of cross-eyed kids disrupting dinner or the classroom. A little white lie helped nip it in the bud. Eating bread crusts makes your hair curly. This one was oddly regional, but if you heard it, you'll never forget it. Many kids were told that eating their bread crusts would make their hair curly. A dubious reward for choking down the least fun part of the sandwich. The origin? Likely an attempt to get kids to stop wasting food. Parents and grandparents who grew up during leaner times didn't want to see crusts tossed aside. So they added a little magic to the story. Eat your crusts and you'll have beautiful curly hair. Of course, there's no link between hair texture and bread consumption. But for generations, kids dutifully chewed through those dry, chewy edges, dreaming of glorious curls. Fish grow to the size of their tank. How many of us heard this one? Don't worry, the fish will only grow as big as the tank allows. It seemed logical. A small bowl meant a small fish, right? But while some species can be stunted by poor conditions, this myth is a half-truth at best. Many fish will keep growing regardless of tank size, though cramped quarters can severely harm their health and lifespan. In the 1980s and 90s, this idea led to countless tiny goldfish bowls. Beautiful to look at, but terrible for the fish inside. Today we know better, but the image of the perfectly sized pet still lingers. It's a classic example of a myth born out of convenience. And for us kids, it made that first trip to the pet store feel filled with magical possibility. Thunderstorms are caused by the gods bowling. Before we understood meteorology, myths gave us poetic ways to explain the world. One of the most delightful? Thunder was the sound of the gods bowling. You remember being tucked under a blanket during a summer storm, listening to the booming sky and picturing Zeus and his buddies rolling massive balls down cosmic lanes? Every crash was a strike. Every rumble meant someone had knocked down a whole set of celestial pins. Of course, now we know that thunder is caused by lightning rapidly heating the air. But isn't that just a little less fun? If you shave hair, it grows back thicker and darker. This one kept countless kids from sneaking dad's razor. If you shave your legs, arms, face, it'll grow back thicker and darker. It sounds plausible, yes, but it's false. Shaving cuts hair bluntly, which can make it feel coarser and appear darker when it first grows back. But it doesn't change the hair's thickness, color, or growth rate. So why did this myth persist? Likely as a deterrent. Parents hoping to delay their kids' rush toward grown-up grooming rituals. For many of us, this warning became a rite of passage. You'd stare nervously at your legs or arms after that first forbidden shave, convinced you'd ruined yourself forever. Don't sit too close to the TV. It will ruin your eyes. This was a universal warning. Plop yourself in front of the TV set, which back in the 70s and 80s sat like a giant wooden altar in the living room. And you'd hear it instantly. Back up. You'll ruin your eyes. While excessive screen time isn't great for anyone, sitting close to the TV doesn't cause permanent damage. The myth likely came from older TV sets, which emitted low levels of radiation, though still safe at normal viewing distances. Plus, sitting too close simply made parents nervous about kids zoning out for hours. And let's be honest, they weren't wrong about that part. Don't touch baby birds or their mother will reject them. Remember this one. You'd find a baby bird fallen from the nest and someone would warn, "Don't touch it. If you do, the mother won't take it back." Heartbreaking to hear as a child and completely false. Birds have a poor sense of smell, and human scent won't cause them to abandon their young. In fact, parent birds are incredibly devoted and will usually continue caring for their babies even after brief handling. The myth likely originated as a way to keep well-meaning kids from disturbing wildlife. And honestly, that's not a bad thing, but the science doesn't support it. Now it's your turn. What myths did you grow up believing? What old warnings or weird beliefs stuck with you longer than you'd care to admit? Drop your memories in the comments. I'd love to read them. And if this video brought back a smile, please like the video and subscribe for more trips down memory lane.